Every year, as part of this important program, we ask one of the family members of the Virginia heroes that have been killed in the line of duty to come and share their story about their loved one. Today, we're going to hear the story of Second Lieutenant Leonard Cowherd Jr., who's a West Point graduate, U.S. Army armor officer, killed by a sniper in Iraq, just outside of Baghdad, just over 7 years ago, May 16th of 2004. Today with us from Metairie, Louisiana, is his twin brother, Charles Cowherd, who's a VMI graduate and from Culpeper, Virginia. We're delighted to have Mr. Cowherd here. Please welcome Charles Cowherd.
Hello, my name is indeed Charles Cowherd, and my brother was killed in Iraq, May 16, 2004. I thank the organizers of this event, this opportunity, for this memorial, the Virginia Wall of Honor, for its tribute to all the Virginia war dead over the last decade. In the spring of 2004, I received a letter from my brother while he was stationed in Iraq, in which he described one of his duties. He was in charge of an armor unit, and for the nightly patrols, he would be tasked to participate. He would write the names of those in his platoon who would be tasked to participate. He would do so on a basic white dry erase board for everyone in the unit to see, writing their names in black and with an erasable marker. Only 22 years old, he was conscious of the fact that he was the person who was writing these names. The action was a signatory of certain danger, and he knew possible death. No one shirked their duty, Leonard emphasized, but there was a wariness about that board and one's name's inclusion on it. Thus, it was with a mixture of trepidation, responsibility, and morbidity that he would fill out those assignments and write the names. He was only in Iraq for a few months before he himself was shot by a sniper on one of those missions. Life's cruel tragedy being, for whom did the bell toll? It tolled for him. Now it would be someone else who would have to fill those names out for his unit there in Karbala, where he died. Today we pause and honor Leonard in his name and the names of all those others who gave their lives for their country. The simple act of visiting their name and hearing it. To quote Lincoln again, it is altogether fitting and proper that we should do so. In the grief process from such an event 7 long years ago, my family, my parents in particular, have made an effort to place Leonard's name on countless memorials and tributes. Thus, in addition to his gravestone in Arlington National Cemetery, there are memorials to Leonard in our hometown of Culpeper, at our school in Rappahannock County, at the church summer camp in Orkney Springs that we attended, from West Point, New York, and his alma mater, the United States Military Academy, and to all the way in Honduras and Central America, on granite and iron and wood and HTML, his name is remembered and honored for his service. It's a pale substitute for his or for any of the lives the Commonwealth has lost over the last 10 years. It provides something, a physical space, perspective, context. Perhaps it just affords us the tactile task of scanning the list of names and trying to address the sacrifice of these individuals and of the collective. These types of memorials, of course, owe an architectural debt to the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. First derided by veterans groups as brutal and anti-heroic, with the then Secretary of the Interior calling it a nihilistic slab of stone. The wall's aching black rock bears the names of the over 58,000 fatalities from the Vietnam War. It endows the monument with its reflective nature, both literally and figurative. It has become a national treasure, visited by millions, invaluable to national consciousness. Subsequent memorials have followed this path of honoring the individual rather than some larger cause. Meanwhile, terrorism, the ultimate expression of nihilism, challenges us with the following question. How do we honor the victims of actions done at random without rationality? By an elusive enemy with no perceivable end. That question has been answered in part by the monuments to the victims of the Oklahoma City bombing, which has 168 chairs, inscribed with the names, one for each of the victims at the ruin of the Alfred P. Murrah buildings. Likewise, there are 184 benches at the Pentagon Memorial, each one providing a point of sorrow for those killed on September 11th. Thus, as a society struggling to find meaning in grief, clarity out of confusion, we have framed our memorials as primarily monuments to the individual. We don't know why you died. We can't conjure a fitting physical testimony, but we know you and we love you and we honor you with a simple bench, this chair, or your name carved on a faceless wall. No arcing statuary, no men in horseback, no busts of giants or mile-high obelisks. These monuments offer little by the way of context, not to mention notions of victory or celebration. In Lexington, Virginia, at my alma mater, the Virginia Military Institute, a memorial exists to the cadets who died at the Battle of Newmarket, May 15, 1864. At the base of the monument, indeed, are the names of all the cadets who fought in the battle. Beneath those are the tombstones of 6 of the 10 cadets who were killed on that day. Above those names is a lifelike bronze statue of Virginia mourning her dead, a female depiction of the state's self. Her left hand holds a metal lance, while her right hand supports the grieving face. In sadness, she mourns the names beneath her. Perhaps we need that allegory made plain to us. Despite all our technological progress, our understanding yearns for such a classical figure that so clearly emphasizes the respect that is owed to the dead. Perhaps not. Perhaps it simply goes without saying. A couple of years ago, on Memorial Day 2009, the President was giving a speech at Arlington National Cemetery. He said, "Here lies presidents and privates, Supreme Court justices and slaves, generals familiar to history, and unknown soldiers known only to God." President Obama went on to give a brief verbal tour of the cemetery, where 250,000 plus marble headstones dot the rolling hills. "A place can be overwhelming," he said. "But for the families of the fallen, just one stone stands out, one that requires no map to find." The Wall of Honor allows us to say, we will never forget you, each of you, every one of you. Leonard, your name will never be erased from that wall and from our hearts. Thank you.